"Wait, heard of someone screaming at a party?" This line silenced the room instantly. Shock and disbelief took just a second. However, the girl's family knew she loved to exaggerate, so everyone just thought this was yet another attention-seeking stunt. Just when the party was wrapping up, the maid discovered that the little girl had drowned in the wash basin. Well, the party vibe was officially ruined. As a top mystery novelist, Oliver Mintright realized it wasn't an accident. The killer was likely among them. Though skilled in fictional murders, she felt helpless facing the real one. In a panic, she had to turn to her friend, the so-called smartest person in the world, Poirot. After listening to Oliver's dramatic tale, Poirot didn't mention any sentiment, but the next morning, he was already on a train to the little town. On the journey, a handsome blonde recognized Poirot and said he was going to the town of the incident. Poirot then pulled out a newspaper to learn more. After all, knowing both yourself and your opponent ensures victory in every battle. His interlocutor openly told him that there's a quirky old lady over there who might have the answers. The train soon arrived at the little town, and Poirot first tracked down a friend who happened to witness the little girl's tragic demise. The witness, though bedridden by shock, detailed the case to Poirot. Unfortunately, they faced two big problems in the investigation. First, the suspects at the party were poisoned. Second, the scene was badly messed up, with only the lethal apple basin left as a clue. So Poirot had to start his investigation from scratch. He went to the local police station, where an officer casually labelled the case an unfortunate accident and promptly blamed a wandering bum. Poirot was furious in the letter, but remained calm as a detective. His reasoning was clear: if she lied, no crime happened on Halloween. Clearly, she must have seen something she wasn't supposed to. To ensure the truth wouldn't come out, the killer took the risky step to silence her. More importantly, Poirot was sure that the killer was right there at last night's party. However, the sheriff didn't acknowledge these deductions. Faced with police apathy, Poirot decided to return to the scene. He needed to search the mansion for overlooked clues to seek justice for the silent girl. Then, Poirot unexpectedly met an acquaintance. As it turned out, the male gardener from the police was the very gardener of the Mary family. They just exchanged pleasantries before passing away, but no one noticed the way the man looked at Poirot. There was a depth of meaning in his gaze that spoke volumes. Shortly after, Poirot met the girl's family. Neither the mother nor brother seemed sad, doubting the police's explanations. Overall, their words harbored a deeply rooted belief that they were absolutely certain the family could not possibly be the killers. Unable to discuss further, Poirot recalled the old lady mentioned by the blonde. Sure enough, he realized the town was fraught with danger. The old lady was a living legend of Hugh's boss. According to her, 3 mysterious deaths occurred nearby recently. If the little girl saw something, it must be one of them. First, Mary's aunt had heart issues and died unexpectedly after a new nanny started. Rumors spread she was poisoned. Next, a local lawyer was stabbed to death in the middle of the night, and to this day, the killer hasn't been found. Coincidentally, that lawyer had once lived in the Mary household. Finally, there was the mysterious death of a female teacher. She was discovered in a predicament, and it's said she had to drink before her demise, which the police labelled as an accident. Ironically, one of her students was the very little girl who met her end. Poirot keenly noted that these seemingly unrelated death cases were intricately connected to the Mary family. She concluded if their deaths were accidents, the only murder the girl witnessed was the lawyer's. Armed with this clue, Poirot made his way to the law office, where the boss sat. The victim was quite hospitable in her business dealings, but she was absolutely lazy and loved to snoop through others' files, perhaps that led to her tragedy. However, Poirot's intuition told her it wasn't simple. She skillfully shifted the topic to the Mary family. Noting the lawyer's age and many losses, Poirot anticipated surprises. Indeed, Mary's aunts will name the new nanny, not family, as heir. However, the police soon discovered the forged will. After her death, the nanny disappeared, leaving rumours of money grubbing. By this point, Poirot had gathered clues, but these fragments weren't enough to piece together the truth. She needed more details to link these seemingly independent events and clarify the underlying causality. So, Poirot headed to the town's church, based on Miss Essier's tip that the teacher had a close relationship with the musicians there. This could offer a new perspective, but after Mass she was drawn to something shiny on a boy's wrist. Clearly, it was too expensive for a child his age. The boy claimed he had bought it himself. Shortly after, he expressed his confusion regarding Poirot's unwavering belief that the sister had been to the family. The girl was just a lying nuisance, and instead of wasting time on her death, they'd rather stroll around the town. Aware of the siblings' relationship, Poirot deemed it family business and didn't probe deeply. Instead, he approached the church priest. He sought insights on the little girl from outsiders, but got the same answer. She loved to embellish, lie, and claim others' stories as her own. As a result, her reputation in the town wasn't exactly stellar. Poirot clearly didn't gather any valuable leads from the priest. He spotted a musician nearby who insisted the teacher's death was an accident. Before Poirot could ask more, she turned and left. Clearly, she wasn't keen on dwelling on that topic. The girl's death had some sort of connection to the other 3 cases in town, but everyone in town seemed to be intentionally avoiding the truth, covering up the facts with a unified narrative. Fortunately, as Poirot's investigation stalled, Oliver woke with a start and recalled a key scene from the incident night. Shortly after Joyce's discovery, she might have seen something. Subscribe for more exciting content.